Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This episode is going to be a fun one. We are going to rate the professional jobs that I have done in the United States. And you guys know I have been around, so for this episode we're just going to rate some of the jobs that I've done and how I kind of feel about it. Let's get into it. The first one is the analyst role. You guys know I'm a huge advocate for the analyst role because I think it has the lowest barrier for entry, but this role gets a ton of disrespect in professional spaces. And one thing I've noticed is that the way this role is treated in non-tech industries is quite different from how it's treated in tech industries. So the non-tech space, this role is quite disrespected, it's more junior. They don't really recognize the technical capabilities of the people in this role. They just look at them like the lower person in the hierarchy, the person that runs around. But I think in the tech space, they look at them like more of the critical thinkers, people that can work certain tools, that can, go and do analysis and pull insights. So it kind of differs the way each industry kind of looks at the analyst role. So overall, I've had like really great experiences with the analyst role. And you also have to understand that there are junior, senior, and mid in the analyst role as well. So it kind of depends on like where you fall in that hierarchy. Overall, I'll give this role a 7/10. Just because, like I said, there's a lot of disrespect that can come with being an analyst, especially in non-tech industries. In finance and transportation, like having the analyst title just means that people would just call on you anytime and say, hey, I need this, get this done for me. And I really didn't like that. So if you're someone that didn't have any boundaries, you can just get tossed around really, really badly. The next role is the engineering role. The biggest challenge with this role is the mental stress. You're going to be working on things that are kind of mentally challenging, so they will need your brains a lot with this role. I really like that this role has a lot more respect and authority in terms of, hey, you're building this thing. Okay, let me give you guys an example. One of the tech setup I work with, I was an engineer who owned so many tables. So any change that needed to happen on those tables needed to go through me first because I was the person who wrote the code. I knew the code like the back of my hand. Any other person who needed to make changes to those tables would need to go and read the documents, understand the code. So it just made more sense that it was me that they said, hey, come and do this because you already know it so well. So it definitely came with a lot more respect. It came with a lot more responsibility. It came with a lot more downtime because you have ownership. So you're not like worrying about your performance as much. You know that you're kind of valuable in the company. I really liked how I felt as an engineer. There's a lot more respect. The team was full of senior people, just technical brainstorming and like best practices and how we approach this problem, how to deliver it to the stakeholder. Like, I think there was a lot more respect in this data engineering role. So I'll definitely rate it an 8/10. The next role is the data scientist role. Now, this role was a very interesting experience. I only got this role because I wanted the data science title so bad. And that's an interesting story time that I can tell in another video. But the only reason I ended up working in this role is because I wanted the title so bad. And it even required me to move out of state, which I did. I moved to Ohio and lived there for like, I think a month. And then I ran back to Texas, which is also another reason why I left the job. But this role definitely came with a lot of respect. I was an SME, a subject matter expert. I was working really closely with a lot of engineers. They just didn't have any insight on anything data related. So they relied on me heavily as an SME. It came with a lot of responsibility. It came with me talking to a lot of people in leadership and just giving them the confidence that they need to make decisions and all that. So it definitely came with a lot of more respect, but a lot more responsibility. It needed me to be more present, to show up more in a certain way. Overall, I'll give it a 9/10 because it has a really good balance between technical expertise and exposure and visibility, which I really like because it exposed me a lot to the leadership, but I also had to tap into my technical expertise and my knowledge as well with like brainstorming and prototyping in notebook and all that good stuff. The last role is the founder hat. The founder hat. Guys, this is the most difficult role I've ever worn. The founder and CEO hat is definitely the most challenging thing I've ever done in my life. Building a company, running a team, the responsibilities on your shoulder is so much. People would misunderstand you, people will love you, people will hate you. Being a founder has been easily the most challenging role I've ever had, and I will rate this a 4. It comes with a lot of prestige. The title is amazing. People people want to say, oh, you're founder, blah, blah, blah. It's amazing. But the level of work that is required to organize people, make sure people are paid, make sure people are happy, is a lot. You're going to deal with different type of personalities, different type of scenarios, different type of people. It is a lot of work. So for this role, I'm going to rate it a 4/10. It's definitely the most challenging one I've ever had to do, and I do like it. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy like building my company, I enjoy putting out content, I enjoy all of this, but it requires a lot of resilience, it requires a lot of discipline, it requires a lot of planning, it requires a lot of isolation, it requires a lot of things that are difficult for you to be able to succeed in this role. I definitely would rate it a 4. Only for the ambitious and the bold, and definitely not for everybody. So yeah, that's it in this video. I just wanted to do like a really fun and engaging one for everyone who's a member of this community. Again, if you're new here, do not forget to use the link in my bio to subscribe to my newsletter, as well as subscribe to the channel here. And as always, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.